On a seemingly ordinary Tuesday, Alaska's frozen expanse became the epicenter of a national security crisis. A single breach at its largest airport sent shockwaves across the country, exposing critical weaknesses in America's aviation security. This wasn't a dramatic explosion or hijacking, but a quiet, calculated infiltration that forced a hard look at our defenses. The Anchorage incident isn't just about one airport. It's about systemic vulnerabilities and evolving threats. It compels us to look beyond TSA lines and consider the less visible but equally critical links in our security chain. Anchorage's airport is a major cargo hub and a gateway to the Arctic. A failure here is a national security concern with global ramifications. The events peeled back a layer of perceived safety, revealing a system more fragile than many believed. We'll break down what happened at Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport on July 29, 2025, and why it matters to every American traveler. This is a story about the unique challenges of securing remote, strategic infrastructure, and the consequences when we fall short. As we dissect the events, we must ask, have we become complacent? And are our security measures keeping pace with new threats? The answers will shape the future of Homeland Security. The breach happened in the early hours of July 29, 2025. Two individuals slipped through a maintenance access point in the airport's perimeter fence, exploiting a known camera blind spot. They moved silently, leaving no immediate trace and triggering no alarms. Their target wasn't a passenger terminal, but a cargo aircraft being loaded for a flight to Louisville, Kentucky. Using forged credentials, they blended in with the ground crew and placed a magnetically sealed container deep within a pallet of unscreened goods. The operation took less than 15 minutes. The intruders exited through a different service gate, hidden by the routine bustle of cargo operations. The breach wasn't discovered until hours later when a security sweep found a discrepancy in the access logs. By then, the cargo plane was already airborne, prompting a frantic response. The FAA and NORAD were alerted, the flight was diverted, and fighter jets scrambled. The incident triggered a nationwide cargo security alert, grounding flights and escalating a quiet breach into a full-blown national security event. It was a chilling demonstration of how quickly a local vulnerability can become a national crisis. Alaska isn't just remote, it's a strategic crossroads for global air traffic. Ted Stevens Anchorage International is one of the world's busiest cargo airports, connecting Asia, North America, and beyond. Its location makes it a vital logistics hub, with daily flights to major U.S. cities and international destinations. A breach here doesn't stay in Alaska, it can export a threat to any major city within hours. The intruders targeted the cargo operations area, separate from the passenger terminal, an area where security is often less intense. The sheer volume of goods moving through Anchorage makes 100% screening nearly impossible, relying instead on trusted shippers and perimeter security. This incident exposed the airport as a strategic choke point. Any disruption here ripples through global supply chains. More importantly, it revealed a critical vulnerability. Security focused on the front door, while the back door remains dangerously exposed. The ability to access a secure area, place a device on an aircraft, and escape undetected shows just how fragile the system can be. Anchorage's role as a cargo superhub means a single breach can have cascading effects far beyond Alaska. The lesson: our security posture must adapt to protect every link in the chain, not just the obvious ones. Airport security is a multi-layered system: perimeter fences, sensors, badges, and screening, all designed to catch threats before they reach the runway. But in remote, challenging environments like Alaska, these layers can be stretched thin. Harsh weather, vast perimeters, and limited patrols make it hard to maintain constant vigilance. The Anchorage breach showed how determined adversaries can exploit these gaps, especially when technology and human oversight fail. Cargo security operates under different rules than passenger baggage, with all cargo flights relying more on trusted shippers and random inspections. The intruders targeted this very weakness, using forged credentials to bypass access controls and place a package on a plane. This points to failures in employee vetting, access control, and oversight of the loading process. Ground crews and cargo handlers are critical to security, but a single lapse can create a catastrophic vulnerability. The system is under constant strain, balancing speed and efficiency with the need for airtight security. In Anchorage, the strain proved too much, and the consequences were immediate and far-reaching. The incident has put the entire cargo security model under a microscope. It's a wake-up call for every airport in the country. The Anchorage breach is part of a troubling pattern of security lapses at U.S. airports. DHS and GAO data show persistent challenges, especially in perimeter security and access controls. Over 5 years, more than 250 perimeter breaches occurred at the nation's busiest airports, ranging from fence cutting to unauthorized vehicles on runways. Covert red team tests by DHS in 2024 revealed a national failure rate over 60% for smuggling mock threats past security. Thousands of lost or stolen security badges are reported annually, and there's no standardized system for deactivating them in real time. The Anchorage incident, involving forged credentials, is a real-world example of these risks. The data shatters the illusion of impenetrable airport security, revealing persistent weak links. Focusing on passenger convenience sometimes comes at the expense of rigorous security elsewhere. The lesson adversaries are studying the entire airport ecosystem, not just the passenger terminal. The real danger of the Anchorage breach lies in the interconnectedness of America's air travel network. A single compromised node can spread a threat nationwide in hours. The targeted flight was headed to Louisville, a major sorting hub, its cargo destined for cities across the country. If the breach had gone undetected, authorities would have faced an impossible search for a single package among millions. Security resources often focus on big international airports, but this incident shows adversaries may target perceived weak points instead. By exploiting thinner security at a remote cargo hub, attackers can have a strategic impact on the entire system. This is network contagion. The health of the whole depends on every link. The Anchorage failure forced a system-wide response, grounding flights and raising alerts nationwide. In aviation, a vulnerability anywhere is a vulnerability everywhere. The fallout from Anchorage was immediate and intense. Homeland Security convened emergency meetings, and the FBI launched a full-scale investigation. Congressional hearings were announced, with bipartisan calls for answers and accountability. The TSA ordered 100% physical inspection of all Alaska-originating cargo, a review of perimeter security at major cargo airports, and revetting of employees in Anchorage. The White House treated the incident as a top national security priority. The message from Washington was clear. This was a major intelligence and security failure. Agencies are under pressure to adapt and close the gaps exposed by the breach. The demand for answers and real change is relentless. Security experts agree. The Anchorage breach was the result of systemic weaknesses, not a single failure. The cargo security gap has long been seen as aviation's soft underbelly, with economic pressures making 100% screening difficult. The use of forged credentials suggests insider knowledge or even foreign intelligence involvement. Experts warn that the focus on passenger security has left cargo operations vulnerable to new forms of attack. The goal may no longer be to destroy a plane, but to use it as a delivery system for threats deep inside the country. The incident highlights the risk of insider threats and the need for constant human verification alongside technology. The breach shattered the perception that only major passenger hubs are at risk. Reliance on technology without rigorous oversight has proven dangerous. The consensus adversaries are studying our systems relentlessly, and we must be just as relentless in fixing our vulnerabilities. Anchorage is a warning. Complacency is not an option. The Anchorage breach was a wake-up call, a meticulously planned intrusion that exposed a critical seam in America's security. It showed how quickly a local failure can threaten the entire nation. Our investigation revealed urgent needs: overhaul cargo security, fix perimeter and access controls, and recognize that every airport is a potential target. The official response is a start, but it's reactive. The data shows these are systemic issues, not isolated lapses. Our adversaries are evolving, and our security must evolve faster. The fundamental question remains: what must be done structurally to harden every link in the chain? The future of American aviation security depends on our willingness to answer and act on that question. The stakes could not be higher.